Hello everyone, welcome. Today we're going to cook low and slow lockdown lamb. Now this is one of my favourite dishes of all time and it's really easy to do. All you need is time. We've got plenty of that these days. So I like to go to the supermarket, always get them on sale. The money's better in my pocket than theirs. Got some vegetables here. I like the pumpkin, potato, beans, broccoli, cauliflower and the capsicum. Capsicum gives it a nice sweetness. Vegetables homegrown, broccoli and cauliflower only. And then we're going to set these up later on. To do this, we're going to have the kettle boiled, ready to go. And I'll use a heaped teaspoon of stock, put it into the measuring cup. And I'll use about half a litre of water, so it's 2 cups. Okay, we've got the stock, the oil, salt and pepper. I'll put the lamb in these 4 barbecue trays. Normally you got these left over anyway. I've doubled them up just for strength. And I've also lined the bottom of it with some greaseproof paper. With the stock, give it a little stir before you put it in, just so it's dissolved. Pour it over the top. Bit of olive oil, a couple of tablespoons. Generous salt and pepper. Oh, I forgot the herbs. Well, welcome to the backyard. Sun's out, UV rays, it's got to protect your eyes. This is my herb section. I've got sage, thyme, oregano, which I need. Over here, I've got some rosemary. I'm just going to cut some of that. I need lemons. Lemons are over here. Under the shade of a lemon tree. I need lemons. See, I wasn't lying about the broccoli and cauliflower. Cauliflower, broccoli. Okay, with the herbs, just chuck them on top, they'll disintegrate. Cut your lemon in half, put on the edge. Now, I'll put this in the oven at 135 degrees with the fan on, and we'll see this in about 5 hours. Okay, so we're about the halfway mark now. It's about 2.5 hours in, and this lamb is looking out of this world. It's going brown. Do the Maillard reaction, it's crispy, it's full of flavour. You just want to take it over to the bench now just so you can add a bit more stock in there because it's getting a bit low. So I'm just going to put 1 cup of stock over the lamb again, just around the sides, all around, doesn't matter where you put it. And that'll go back in for another 2.5 hours. In the meantime, I've prepared the vegetables, I've already cut them up. Now I'm going to put these in roughly when the lamb's got about an hour to go, just to give it a kickstart. And then what I'll do, once I take the lamb out, I'm going to cover it for about 40 minutes, then I'll crank up the heat to 180 in the oven, just to finish off the vegetables. So we're on the home stretch now. I've pre-cut the potatoes and the pumpkin up. I've got the vegetables in the steamer ready to go. First off, what we're going to do is I normally keep the skin on the potatoes, as well as the pumpkin. Just helps with roasting a bit easier. It'll keep the pumpkin more intact and won't rip apart. We'll start with the potatoes. Bit of olive oil over the top, probably about 3-4 tablespoons. Now I've hunted high and low for this container because it doesn't drip any oil. Bit of pepper, salt. That's it for the potatoes. Now for the pumpkin, I've got some sesame oil. I'm just going to do a bit of a dribble over there. Doesn't matter if they'll mix up in the end, it's fine. Now about halfway through, we'll probably stir these up a little bit just so that they get even cooking. I'm going to put some sesame seeds on it too, just give a nice sesame flavour. And then, so it helps caramelise up, a bit of balsamic glaze over the top, just so it helps with the colouring and a bit of the tang of the balsamic vinegar. The vegetables, you boil the water first. Once it's boiling, you put these steamer on top with the lid. Now you want to steam it for about 5 or 10 minutes, or just till you're happy with the way the vegetables are. So I've taken out the lamb now, the vegetables are still in there, and I'll crank the oven up to 180 degrees. I've got the thermometer in because I want the meat to be about over 90 degrees. Now I'm going to cover it with foil in a second, but you can see that the fat's rendered away really well around the lamb, so it's all on the bottom there, so it's going to be, the lamb's going to be less fattier. And squeezing the lemon over it will give it a bit more flavour as well. Don't worry about the pips, you can just get rid of those as you go. Now, I'll take this thermometer out, I'll cover it with foil. Now, this will still continue to cook. I'm just taking the foil off the lamb now, it's been resting for an hour. I'm using these gloves because it gets good grip. And I'll transfer it into the extra tray that I had underneath the foil tray at the beginning. As you can see, the lamb's pulled away from the bone. And you just break it apart. Pulled lamb. That's what you want. Now this is enough to feed 4 people with the vegetables and the potatoes and pumpkin. And the extra you've got left over, you can make into souvlakis the next night. So there we have it. Slow cooked lamb shoulder, roasted vegetables, and some steamed vegetables with an array of fresh herbs. Just finish it with some olive oil. Ready to serve.